acquaintances. You know what I mean? And that's a difference there between buddies and friends. You know what I mean? Friends aren't buddies and buddies aren't friends. And you don't want to mix the two. Buddies are the people you do hang out with, you do talk, you get along here and there, but you're not friends. You know? And there's a difference there. There's a difference there. A friend you tend to know on a more personal, deeper level. I mean, you tend to know what they like, dislike. You tend to know some of their history, some of their back history. You can kind of guesstimate how they'd feel or how they'd go about a situation. You know them like on a deeper personal level. You know what I mean? Those tends to be those friends that you have. Buddies, however, is so you may hang out and may have deep conversations about, but if you really look at it, you don't know them as a person. Whether they've even dove into their backstory with you or whatnot, you still don't know them. You can't really say that you know them if you truly, really look at them. And a lot of people have buddies, not friends. A lot of people have a lot of buddies because buddies are easier to come by. You can have a lot of buddies, but friends, it's a lot harder. It's a lot rarer. You know what I mean? Really deep, solid friendships takes years to build up that trust, that loyalty, that engagement. You know, friends are people that you can not talk to 5, 6 years, hit them up. They might not even remember your name or face even off the bat, but like once you start talking, oh shit, yeah, hey man, how you doing? You know what I mean? And those are friends that you could call up years later, zero contact, and it's like you're picking up a conversation from yesterday. You know, and buddies tend not to be that way. Buddies, there tends to be that period where you know forgotten or it's awkward to talk to them or they don't really message back or whatnot. But you know, you can't confuse that with people being busy because people are busy, but that's like a basis of like friends and buddies, and a lot of people don't have friends, they have buddies. And there's people out there that do have a lot of friends. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible or it's not true or anything. There is people out there that probably do have friends in the double digits. I'm just saying it's not common, you know. um so friendships, like the basis of friendships, you know, it's kind of like a lot of other relationships. It's a give and take. You know what I mean? You want to give not necessarily as much as you take. You know, depending on the person, it's gray. You know, but everything I'm saying is kind of like a normal baseline. You know what I mean? So obviously outside of that there is a lot of gray, but everything I'm gonna be saying is like a regular baseline, a traditional kind of like friendship. So it's a give and take. You usually want to give and take equally. Usually, you know what I mean. You want to treat your friend well, basically. You know what I mean. You wouldn't want to do something to them that you definitely wouldn't want done to you, and that's for like anybody or anything. But I mean, when it comes to friends, it's really like that. You know, that trust there. You know, uh, you can have friends that will just toss you $50. You know, not even expecting to pay just to be your friend. That your friend. You know, what I mean, here you need that $50. There you go, buddy. And you may not even pay that 50 back. You know what I mean? But you may do something else instead. You know, maybe he's hungry or thirsty one day. You get him some food, or you take him out. You know, travel, or you go do something. But it's not with the mentality of let me pay him back. You know what I mean? Not saying that isn't there sometimes, but that's more in type of a buddy type of thing. When it's friends, you're not even thinking of getting anything back or not, unless you talked about it. Like, hey, I'll toss you this 50. Can you pay me back then, or you work it out? Then that's different. But usually, when you're doing stuff with a friend, you're not thinking of receiving anything. So when I say you want to give and take equally, it's not like you're actively thinking to do that. It just so happens in those friendships. You know what I mean? It just like if you really look at it, just out of the nature of goodness, or you're caring for that person, you really look at it, you tend to give and take. You know what I mean? Pretty equally. It's just kind of like I don't want to say necessarily subconscious, but it's just something that just tends to happen in organic friendships. You should give and take equally. Now, in other relationships that aren't really friendships or more buddy or acquaintances, there is that, hey, you know, pay me back here or make sure, you know, there's just that there. You can even feel that pressure, even if they're like, oh, you know, hey, it's fine, but usually they'll mention it, like lean towards it, like, hey man, damn, I really wish I had like $50 right now, you know, like stuff like that, little slight manipulative things. And that's more of like buddy acquaintances type of territory, you know what I mean? Not saying friends can't be like that and whatnot, sometimes they can be, and again, it depends on the agreement or whatever you came to. But when it comes to friends, usually it's not a mentality of pay me back or you owe me, you know what I mean? So friendships are people that you could be close with, you know what I mean? You feel comfortable hanging out with them, with your family, you know, obviously that